channel.
Hi, I'm Tim Beggy, and this is Guts and Bolts. An adrenaline-filled look at today's technology, how it works, and how it got here. We start with the technology that will make your head spin. It's called the Timetrack camera, and I'm off to Switzerland to see how they do it. Then, I get flooded with everything I ever wanted to know about my local neighborhood car wash. Finally, it's the perfect balance between technology and technique. Motorcycle observed trials. They've been riding them since the early 1900s. But safe to say, bikes back then couldn't do stuff like this. It's history done my way. Next on Guts and Bolts. So I'm in Geneva, where they say le fromage est un excellent remède contre le jet lag. Anyhow, so I'm gonna hurt myself so you guys learn something today. Whoa, that was cool. But I didn't really hurt myself. I'm sure that'll come later on in the show. I want to show you guys this. It is the Timetrack camera. The Timetrack camera isn't one camera taking a picture. It's a bunch of cameras taking one picture at the same time. It's sort of like a still camera, sort of like a movie camera, sort of. Movie cameras and still cameras do the same thing. They take pictures. But movie cameras take a bunch of pictures in a row, generally 24 per second. When the pictures are played back, it happens so fast that it looks like smooth, fluid motion. We know this because of a little disagreement about a horse. The question was, when a horse gallops, do all four of its feet ever leave the ground at the same time? Leland Stanford, former governor of California turned amateur horseman, thought they did. So in 1872, he hired photographer Edward Muybridge to prove it. No one had tried anything like this before. Muybridge worked out a system. A bunch of cameras were lined up alongside a track. Strings were attached to the shutters of each camera. When the horse ran by, it hit the strings, which tripped the shutters, which took the pictures. And now we know two things. One, Stanford was right. There are times in a horse's gallop when all 4 feet are off the ground at the same time. And two, when those photos are shown one after another fast enough, it looks darn near seamless. Muybridge's work led to the development of the movie projector and camera. Today, animators and special effects crews still use this one picture at a time trick to make movies. And when Dayton Taylor couldn't afford a movie camera, so did he. He used his trusty Nikon to shoot short movies. That got him thinking about taking the idea a little further.
When a motion picture camera is moving, it's actually, if you think about it in slow motion, it's going click, 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 click. If you had a still camera for every one of those clicks already there, you could take a motion picture of a single moment in time. So instead of click, 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 it's just click.
Got that? Instead of taking a bunch of pictures one after another, take a bunch of pictures at the same exact time. So you have a bunch of pictures of the same exact point in time from slightly different angles. And if you show them one after another, it looks like one camera floating through a frozen moment in time. Which is, in a super genius sort of way, kind of a simple idea, until you have to build it.
My first thought was, I need to get a bunch of still cameras, synchronize them, and try to trigger them to all take a picture at the same time. And then immediately I was like, I can't afford to do that. What I ended up realizing or thinking about was I should build a camera where all the cameras share one piece of film. So you can think of each camera as a separate camera, or you can think of the whole thing as one camera with a bunch of lenses.
What he came up with was a big camera that was made of a bunch of little cameras. Each little camera is very basic, just a box with a lens on the front. The little cameras connect together, side by side, making a perfectly aligned row. A long strip of film runs through the back of each one, waiting for a picture. To take the picture, you hit a button that releases a spring. That spring is attached to a long strip of vinyl that has holes punched in it for each lens. When the spring moves, the holes pass in front of each lens at the same time, exposing the film, and you got yourself a bunch of pictures of the same moment in time. In 1994, Dayton got tired of his day job and built his camera with his bare hands. He hand-carved one module, made a mold of it,
and cranked out a bunch of plastic copies right in his kitchen. He put them together, went out, took a picture, and it worked. No one else had done this before. That first camera is now in the Smithsonian. Actually, it's in the Smithsonian's warehouse, but still. The idea caught on, and he shot some mind-bending stuff. Dayton's developed a bunch of film cameras. Big, small, straight, curved, for different uses, constantly tweaking to push it a little further. He's also developed a way to do the same thing with video. Instead of recording a bunch of individual pictures to a single strip of film, a bunch of video cameras send streams of movie pictures to a massive hard drive. To put the video system through its paces, we're going to recreate a skateboard stunt from one of Dayton's ads. This will be interesting. Anyhow, here's how you do it. Figure out where the trick will happen, then rig the cameras around that point. Here we're using 36 cameras in sort of a semicircle. One by one, the cameras have to be aimed and focused on the same spot, a best guess of where I'll jump the highest. If they're too far off, I'll bounce all over the place in the effect. Then you plug the cameras into the computer and let her rip.
We'll decide on the shot, we'll look through the cameras, we'll have you go to your start position, start the cameras rolling, you'll do your thing. Nothing special will happen from your point of view, you'll just do what you do.
What you're left with is a bunch of video clips of the same thing from different angles, like me falling down.
Oh no! Well, the next step after shooting it is to make some editing decisions because we have all the points of view covered for every moment in time.
Well, what if we wanted to use different moments?
Well, we could do that too because with this system we're recording every moment. So we could do the virtual camera move and keep you moving at the same speed as it plays out, or have you go backwards, or have you speed up or slow down.
If you pick the same moment from each camera and then put those together, it'll look like I'm frozen in time. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me present the following slice of poetry in motion. Woo! Cool. Did I happen to mention that I don't skateboard?
Nasty! I told you I don't know how to skateboard. I'm sure that looked cool, though. Jeez. Stunts I do for you people. Hope you appreciate what I do, but I appreciate you for watching Guts and Bolts.
Next, everything I ever wanted to know about my local neighborhood car wash.
This program is brought to you in part by Nissan. Today, we play with some of the coolest high-tech toys available. Yet the toys of tomorrow promise to be even more spectacular. The History Channel presents a week-long event with the coolest cars, the wildest gadgets, and the most out-there technology to drive men wild. A global presentation, Boys Toys Week, coming up next.